Okay, let me start with the introduction. So, what is a database and why? What is the main? What is the main aim of a database? So, basically, a database is nothing but it will store the data. Let's say if you take an example of a bank. Let's say let's take the example of a let's say one bank like let's say Wells Fargo. So the bank it started around some years back. So what is the main thing here is we need to store the customer data, right? So we need to store the customer data as well as so as and when the customer required for some information, the bank should be in a position to provide the data to the customer. So that's the main thing. So for storing the database, we need to have a database. So simply in simple language, I can say a database is nothing but it used to store the data. So when there are different types of databases in the market. So we have Oracle is there, we have SQL Server, we have DB2, we have Sybase, and we have Teradata. So these are the different databases in the market. So Oracle is nothing, it's an Oracle Corporation product, and we have SQL Server, it's a Microsoft product, and DB2, it's an IBM product. So each and every company, they design their database. So Teradata, it's a Teradata Corporation, and Sybase, it's the same. So these are the different databases in the market. Now, when you take any database, it will have two parts. The first one is a SQL part, and the other one is a PLSQL part. So SQL is nothing but it's a structured query language. I'll tell you what is a structured query language. So it's a structured query language. Yeah, I'll give you in a couple of minutes what is a structured query language. The next one is it's a PLC equivalent. It's a programming language. So with the help of SQL, we are going to write some programs. It's a programming language by using SQL. Let's take, I'm designing a database for a particular bank. Now, bank is my database. Now, can you tell me what are the different operations of a bank? Let's say bank is performing, they'll have account section, and they'll have loans, and they'll have cards division, and they'll have insurance. Let's concentrate on these four. So my bank is dealing with these four operations. And so for dealing accounts in Oracle terminology, we'll have one schema or a user. So this particular user is dealing with accounts related data. So accounts means you may have a savings account, current account, or demat account, something like that. Loan means you may have personal loan, mortgage loan, or home loan, something like that. Cards means if it is a credit card or debit card, some doctor's card, something like that. So insurance means it will also have different things. So when you take a savings, current accounts, or demat account, you may have n number of customers, right? So you need to store all the customer data in this particular, user. I'll tell you what is a user. So user one will store so user one will store the information of accounts, and so as my business is having four parts, so I'm just creating four users here. So I can say this is a schema or a user. So user 2 is dealing with the loans, and similarly, so user 3 is dealing with cards section, and user 4 is dealing with. So why I have given four different users? It is to. So can you able to hear me? I think someone is pinging like that, so they are unable to hear. I have differentiated each and every business into a different users. So we are maintaining related data in one user, loans into one user, and cards into another. Now, so when you take any database, the data will store in tables. What is a table actually? A table is nothing but it will have rows and columns. So when you take any table, have basically a table is nothing but it will have rows and columns. I'll just show you one simple table, and we'll try to insert the data here. So the total lecture will, the practice session will be in a tool called. So here I am using a tool called SQL Developer. So basically, SQL Developer is a client tool which will be used to connect to a particular user or particular schema. I'll just show you how a SQL Developer will look like. So before this, I want to show you a particular table here. Now, can you see here? This is a table called department. It is having 3 columns here. This is nothing but a column, 1, 2, 3. So it is having 3 columns. One is department number, department name, and so it is having how many rows here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this particular department table is having 3 columns and it is having 5 rows. In Oracle terminology, a row is called a record. So if you have any doubt, just stop me. So a row is called a record. So my requirement is I would like to create a table with 3 columns and around 5 records. Now, can you tell me what is the type of data the department number is storing? It is storing numeric information. A department name, it is storing a character information. A location, it is storing a character information. Now, this is one more table. This is called employee table. It is having employee number, employee name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission. So it is having some 9 columns here, and these are all the different rows of a employee table. So they are just storing the employee information here. Here, what is the type of data that particular column is storing? It is storing numeric information. It is character. And can you tell me what is the type of data it is storing? It is storing a date information. So Sal, it's a number. Now, here the type of data is nothing but, have you heard about data type? So data type is nothing but the type of information that we are storing in a particular column. So department number means it is storing a numeric information. Now, in Oracle, we have different data types, like we have number. So number is one data type which will store numeric information. We have one more data type called varchar, so which will store character information. Which will store character information. And we have one more data type called date. So date means it will store a date information. This is nothing but a data type. Data type is nothing but the type of information that we are storing in a particular column. Now let me show you the table here, SQL Developer. So this is a SQL Developer tool here. So that will be used to practice. Now, can you see here? Here there are different types of users, right? Can you see here? Amisha, Asif, Insurance, Jyoti. So you are able to see so many users here. So let's say my business is required these many users. So I'll create n number of users here. Now, when you look at a bank, how many users you require? you require 4 users, right? You require 4 users. It's depending upon the business, and you are going to create those many users. It's just to differentiate the related data between users. Let me create a user for you. So there is one super user called SYS. This means we can say it's an administrator which will control all the users. Actually, this particular step is not required here. Just for the time being, I'm saying there is a separate topic for this. So I'm just creating a user here. So the user is, let's say, the username is, let's say, user1. So I'm just creating a password here. Create user identified by. So I just created a user. I'm just giving one permission here for the user. So this step is not required. This is generally creation of users and all related to DBA activities. Now I just created a user. Now here I'm configuring the user. So when you are trying to install a database in your laptop or a PC, so the first step is you need to download the Oracle software. Then you need to install the software. So while installing, it will ask you for the database name. Can you see here? There is one thing called service name. Service name is nothing but the database name which you are giving while installing the Oracle software. While installing, I have given the database name as Oracle. This port is nothing but it's a default port which is given by Oracle. It's 1521. Host is nothing but the IP address of your machine. Here I just created a user1, and you can give any name here. Let's say I'm giving, so the username should be, it's user1. Now can you see here, what is the password that I have given here? Identified by password. So the password is nothing but it's Oracle. Now I'm just clicking on save here. So as soon as click on save, can you see here user1 got populated here? So I just created a user and I'm just clicking on test. So whether it is working or not. Yeah, it is saying it's a success. Let me connect to the user. So I just connected to a user called user1. Now here comes the actual part. So here I have listed down the course content. Now before going to the course content, I'll tell you what we are going to learn in Oracle. So I just connected to a user. Now can you see here? Here there are different types of objects, right? These are all called objects. I have table, I have view, index, package, procedure, function, trigger, types, sequences, material views, synonyms. So I'm able to see different objects here. So the Oracle course is nothing but learning about all these objects. So as today is a demo, so I'm just trying to create a table here. So in the Excel sheet, you have seen two tables here. One is a department table and the other one is an employee table. Let me create one table here. Now to create a table, just see here. Can you see table here? There is an option called new table. Just click on this new table option. So when you click on this one, it pop up a new window where you can define the column names and you can define the data type. Can you see here? So what is the schema name it is showing? Schema name is nothing but user1. So I already told you schema or user both are same. Now here I need to mention the table name. So my table name is DEPT. When you see in the Excel sheet, the table name is DEPT. Now I have given the table name. Now can you see here the column name? I can specify the column name. The column name is department number. can you see data type here? So what is the data type that I had to give here? Department number. It is storing numeric information, right? So I need to give the data type as number. So when you expand this one, can you see different data types here? Varchar2, number, date, sclob, blob, bfile. So these are the different data types that we have in Oracle. Let's concentrate on these three data types: Varchar2, number, and date. Now it will store number. Now I'm adding one more column here. The other column is department name. So I'm adding one more column, department name. So it will store character information, Varchar2. I'm giving the size as 20. Now the next column is location. Anyways, it will store character information. Again, the size as 20. Let's just click on OK. So when you click on OK, it's going to create a table. Okay. So I just created a table here. Just try to expand this one. So when you expand this one, you're going to see a new table called DEPT. So that's a new table. So you just created a table, and the next thing is you need to insert the data, right? So can you see here? Can you see the table here? So there is a table called DEPT, and it is having 3 columns. Let's try to see the data here. So you haven't inserted any data. Now you are trying to insert here. So here you are able to see different tabs, right? So there is a column tab. So it is having different columns, and just look at the data tab. So currently you don't have any data. Can you see here? You don't have any data. There is an option called insert row. Can you see here? Insert row. Now my requirement is I would like to insert 5 records here. So let's insert 5 rows here. I'm just copying the data. There is an option called, can you see here, commit. So the first step is insert row. Let me list down here. So this is called insert row, and what is the next step? It is nothing but commit, right? Just click on commit. So when you click on commit, it will save the data. So I just inserted some records. So I created a table. I inserted some data. Now let me create one more table here. So the second table is nothing but employee table, and it is having employee number. It's a numeric information. Next column is employee name. It's a Varchar2. Third column is employee number, employee name, and job, manager. It's a number. Just try to see here. I'm just creating the employee table. Employee number, employee name, job, manager, and the column is it's a higher. So what is the data type for this one? This is for storing data information. Oracle has given a data type called. So I just created 2 tables. So one is a department table, and the other one is employee table. Just try to look at here. So you understood this column tabs, right? So column means it is showing what is the column name and what is the data. When you look at the data, so this will show us the exact data. Now there are different tabs, right? So you are having a constraint tab, you are having a grants tab, triggers. So these are the different things. The Oracle course is nothing but knowing about all these things. What are different columns you have, how to insert the data, what are the different constraints you have, triggers you have. So indexes, partitions. So these are the different things that you are going to learn here. Now, just let me summarize what we have done so. So what is the first step that I have done? So I just created a table, right? The first step is I created a table. What is the next step that I have done? I have inserted the data, right? By using insert, I inserted the data. So after that, by using commit, I save the changes, right? So when you look at here, let me insert the records for employee table as well. So this is the employee table. These are the different columns that we have, and this is the data type. So currently I don't have any data, right? So there is an option called insert row. Can you see here? This is insert row. By using this, I can insert the record. Now let me insert few records. I'm going to insert 15 rows into the table. Can you see here? There is an option called commit here. So once you insert the data, you need to click on this button called commit. So when you click on commit, the data will be saved permanently. Can you see here? It's come. The changes are permanently saved. Okay. Now let me. So after insert, you are given commit. The first step is you have created a user, right? So as I told you, this is not required, but you created a user by using a statement called create statement. Now can you see here? There is one more statement called grant statement. That is nothing but a grant statement. So in Oracle, how you are, I mean to say, if you want to see the data in a particular table, you have to use a command called select. This particular statement, select statement, is used to see the data in a particular table. Now, my requirement is I want to see the data in the department table. So I have these three columns. For these three columns, I want to see the data here. So to see the data in a table, we are using a command called select command. So by using this select statement, I can able to see the data in a table. So can you see here? So you are selecting the data from this particular table for these three columns. So these are the different columns you have. Anyways, I'll give you the syntax also. As today is a demo, I just want to give the overview how the course will look like. So next I used a statement called select statement. So these are the 5 things that we learned today. Let me give you the SQL thing here. SQL is divided into 5 different sublanguages. SQL is divided into 5 different sublanguages. So one is, do you have any idea on these sublanguages? I already explained you the 5 different sublanguages, but there is a different name for that. The first one is data definition language. First one is data definition language. So under data definition language, this will come, create, right? So under data definition language, this create will come. Next one is data manipulation language. So under data manipulation language, insert will come. So under data manipulation language, insert will come, and transaction control language. So under this transaction control language, we'll have this one, this commit option. The next one is data control language. So data control language is nothing but grant will comes under data control language. The final one is data querying language. So that is nothing but DQL. So under this we will have select state. So I can say SQL is divided into 5 different sub-languages. The first one is data definition language. Next is data manipulation language, transaction control language, data control language, and data querying language, which is nothing but a select state. So create means when you want to create a user or a table, you are going to use an option called this create statement. So insert, when we will go for insert, when you want to insert some data into the table, you will use insert option. So commit means when you want to save the data permanently, you will use commit statement. So grant means when you want to give any permission. Let's say while creating the user, I have given these 2 permissions to this particular user. And select statement means when you want to see the data in a particular table, you are going to use a command called select statement. So you are selecting data from this particular table for these 3 columns. So you're having a different options here. You have create, alter, drop, truncate. You have modify. You have add here. You have rename here. So these are the different commands that comes under a DDL statement. Now today we have just seen create thing, and under DML you are having insert, update, and delete. So here you have commit, rollback, and save point. Under data control language you are having grant and revoke, and you are having only one option called select in data querying language. Today we have just seen create, insert, how to give commit, grant, and select things. Today is a demo. I want to give the overview, like how the course will look like, and so what are the different things that we are going to learn, and basically I have given what is the concept of a user. So this basically, when I say user or a schema, both means the same, but in Oracle terminology we'll specify it as a user.
Yeah. How long the course duration?
It's 1 month. I mean 30 days.
Oh, 30 days. Can we get the remote database?
Sorry.
Yeah. Can we get the remote access database?
No, if you have, I'll give you the steps to download the Oracle database, and I'll install the database in your machine. I'll guide you how to. It will take hardly 1 hour to do the installation part.
Okay. Is that a virtual box or normal?
No, normal. The virtual box is not. So I'll just send you the steps to download the Oracle software. I think it's gonna take probably 1 hour to download the software. It's around 4 GB, I guess. Just a moment, I'll just show you. So approximately this is 2 GB. So you need to download. There will be 2 parts for Oracle 11G. So by the way, do you know the latest version of Oracle? Any one of?
12C.
12C.
Right. Yeah, it's 12C. So, but 12C, I think it came recently in the market, and the companies are trying to migrate to 12C. Most of the, I mean to say, 80% of the companies still they are using 11G. The version is release 2. So using 11G release 2. 10G we have.
For the class, you're going to use 11?
Yeah, 11G.
Because I have 12, and I've noticed the default users, things like Scott, HR, and all that, they're all not on 12 anymore. At least not as default schemas anyway.
Yeah.
It has default 1.
Yeah. If you want, yeah, we can create.